Blessings everyone, this is Chris Kendall from therawadvantage.com, registered holistic nutritionist, raw food lifestyle coach. Are vegans and vegetarians rabid plant killers? Let's see.
Baby, I like it raw. Raw Advantage likes it raw. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Hey.
Alright, so here we are in the greenhouse at the Farm of Life in Costa Rica. Learn more about my retreats out here every year, but to the point.
Are vegetarians and vegans rabid plant killers?
I have often heard this in defense of eating meat. Omnivores, carnivores, generally omnivores. There's no true carnivorous humans, at least not physiologically or anatomically. But of course, plants are living. You know, in quantum physics, everything is living. Everything has a vibration, right? Everything is energy, as they so say. Now, within the animal kingdom, there's cognition, there's sentience, which means that in order to survive, it has a certain level of emotional intelligence. It tries to get away from pain. Now, with plant life, they don't have a central nervous system. They don't, as we know it, feel any pain. Plants by nature don't try and get away from you if you're going to harvest them. And in fact, in many situations and conditions are benefited from our foraging from. We'll get a little bit more into that by the end of the video. Now, definitely, if you're just buying store-bought regular produce, especially say root vegetables or some lettuces, maybe broccoli, cauliflower, heart of palm, yes, they may be killing that plant. Now, not in all cases, but depending upon their methods of procuring the plant from its roots or from its source. In terms of fruits, now of course, fruits are freely given by plants. In fact, that's their main method of preservation. They want to spread the seed, so they've developed tasty, aromatic, colorful fruits for animals such as ourselves and other animals, or gravity to spread the seed. So in that case, that's an absolute no-brainer, that there's no killing going on there. Now, in terms of the leaves of plants, which can make up one of the most important parts of the human diet, fruits and leafy greens, you don't have to kill the plant. And in fact, if I'm out foraging in nature, if I have some garden or some potted plants I have at home, I personally don't like to kill the plant. And while that may be going overboard for some of you, it's just what feels intuitively and ethically right to me. I want to help the plant grow. I want it to sustain itself so we can have a mutually beneficial relationship. See, human beings have a symbiotic relationship with plants, meaning that we thrive together, we help each other grow. That doesn't mean that in all ways and in all practices and with all sources of plant food, that's exactly what happens. But our most ideal foods, fruits, tender leafy greens, some nuts and seeds, they can all be harvested in a way that, again, it just benefits the plant. So let's look at that a little bit. So here we have beautiful purslane, one of the wild edibles that grows in every single part of the earth where human beings inhabit. Now, of course, here this is a fresh little bud where there's little seedlings and there's new leaves going off. I like to generally go to some of the older ones, and if I was just going to take a leaf, grab it, and just pull it from the stem. So that way, I got it right from the base. It doesn't really leave any mark on the plant. Then you can eat that right up. If you wanted to grab a whole little bunch of it, you grab a piece like this, and again, come close to the stalk, and just pull down, and it pulls right off. And eat that up. Here we have a kale leaf. It's looking like it's getting a little bit older. Take it by the base, push down. There we go. That way you're doing the least damage to the plant, and instead what you're actually doing is letting it go of putting its vital reserves and resources into this leaf, and instead going into new ones. Now, whether you decide to go for one of these leaves, it's a little bit like that, or just a bigger leaf, so you put more energy into the smaller little shoots, like these ones here, and allow the plant to grow faster, is entirely up to you. When you're growing fruit trees, for instance, it's helpful to prune some of the leaves so it puts more energy into fruit production. So there is actually a science behind that and different ways to get more yield, which is in benefit to the plant because it could potentially be spreading more fruit trees and seeds all over the place. So while some pure fruitarians would argue that fruits are the only thing freely given, I would say that with a symbiotic relationship with plants, with greens, with trees that have edible leaves, we're in fact helping the plant out. In my mind, there can be no better relationship but the one that is mutually beneficial. And if you're an omnivore, you eat a lot of meat and this gets you in a little bit of a tizzy, or you don't agree, don't forget that animal agriculture takes up to 80% of many of our common crops to feed those animals. So even if you're eating the animals and you believe that it's just the same killing animals and killing plants, more of those plants are going towards the animals than for human consumption anyway. If you grow it yourself, you know exactly how you're harvesting it. And I still eat grocery store food. You know, truthfully, I don't have any ethical qualms about having some store-bought food that the plant is killed. It's not my preference, but it's not going to stop me from eating. When I have the choice, I like to ethically harvest or consciously harvest. So I invite you all to form a relationship with your plants, to consciously harvest, to give love, give appreciation, be in gratitude for the symbiotic relationship and how we can both mutually grow and flourish together. So I hope you guys like this video. If you have any questions or comments, you want me to go a little bit deeper into that, let me know. Lots more to come. Wishing you much peace, love, and seasonal fruit.
Badass fruit and vegetable killer.
Vegetable killer.
Oh, you don't have to be.
Ooh, don't forget to click here to get you 2 free ebooks. Plus, check out this video on whole greens versus green juices versus green powders with John Colbert, the juice expert. Excited to announce my new iPhone app, free with 101 frickin' awesome recipes, tier retreat treats, food combining charts, shopping carts, and more.